scab for the bosses. Don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize. Which side are you on? Which side are
giant,
you on?
behemoth,
Yeah.
like larger than life.
Yeah.
Balls.
Balls. Like in a way that you're a little bit scared.
You're definitely kind of scared.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you this before, but so I found out over the weekend that when you get silicone testicle implants, they just take your normal testicles and shove them upwards, and then you just got 4.
That's crazy.
Around
What
there.
are the fake ones made of? Is that the silicone?
I think that's the silicone. Yeah.
So they. Oh, wait. So is it like a physical, like a ball? Or is
so.
it like they just inject some fucking silicone in there? Or is it
I'm
like a
not
breast
sure.
implant where it's kind of like...
It could be kind of like a breast implant. I don't know. And I also heard you have to like size up. Like you have to like size up like gauges. Like you can't just go from like tiny little ping pong balls to like a tennis ball sized ball, you know?
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they have to like repeatedly cut into your fucking sack and change out the balls?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh
I'm not sure.
my God. See, and it's like, I support literally any cosmetic procedure, like go for it, baby. But that just seems like
more
you're
work than it's
hurting
worth.
yourself
Yeah.
after a certain point.
But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I generally support pretty much all
yeah, I'm like,
cosmetics.
fucking go for
You
it.
feel more comfortable with yourself?
With big, giant, swinging balls?
Do
sure.
it. Like, if I ever go bald, you know I'm getting hair implants immediately.
Yeah,
it's
I know
stupid.
you are.
I probably said that a bunch.
Taylor's biggest fear is going bald.
True, absolutely. Yeah, I would say that's my biggest fear. I think about it too much.
Maybe it's going to stress you out.
Maybe that, and then the stress will make me go bald.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we're talking about Joe Byron today.
Joe Byron.
What do you want to say to Joe Byron right now?
Hey, baby.
We're talking about Joe. We're talking about
El Presidente.
Yeah, we're doing a little 1-year retrospect.
Yeah, there you go. It's a
on
classy way to say that.
Yeah, exactly. I like Joe Biden, a retrospective, you know? That's what I would name it if this was a YouTube video.
Totally.
Like a video essay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm going to go first talking about his campaign promises.
Yes.
And then Phoebe is going to go after. I just was thinking.
It's going to go after.
I was just thinking, my name's Taylor. We didn't introduce ourselves.
That's right. Fuck. I'm Phoebe.
Fug.
And this is our podcast that we still to this day never intro well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I love our intros.
I think they're funny. Yeah, I mean, if you clicked on it, you probably know what you're listening to.
Have seen the title of the thing. Also, I think the name of this episode should be "What Do You Want to Say to Joe Byron?"
That's a good one. That's the working title. We'll run with it.
Title.
You listeners know more right now than we do currently, if you think about it, because they're gonna know what the actual title is.
Oh my God, that's kind of meta.
It's pretty meta. Call me Mark Zuck, because that was meta as fuck. Oh no.
Oh my God.
All right.
Sick. Let's fucking get
We got ourselves my top 15 list of the best Joe Biden promises as of his campaign. Subscribe to my channel for more insane top 15s. Also, a fun game. This I was telling Phoebe. I didn't spoil the game, but a fun game I'm making up, or that I'm going to be doing is I'm making up middle names for Joe Biden and Donald Trump the entire time based off of their middle initial.
Beautiful.
And it will change every time I say their name.
I'm so excited.
All right. Number 1, the Paris Climate Agreement. On April 22nd, 2016, aka Earth Day, the Paris Climate Agreement opened up for signatures after being created the previous year. The agreement covered climate change, mitigation, and adoption of policies and financing to prevent climate disaster. And honestly, we could probably do a whole episode on the Paris Climate Agreement.
Truly, yeah, totally.
There's a lot to it. But on the 4th of November, right out of the gate. Leaves the Paris Agreement after promising to do it for 3 years. The reason it took so long was like there's some kind of United Nations regulations about when someone can leave the agreement. So he had to wait until like the next election for some reason. I don't know exactly what the specifics of that were. That we'll do that in the episode. And Joseph Rigatoni Biden promised to rejoin by stating, "I will rejoin the Paris Climate Agreement on day one of a Biden administration, and then convene a summit of the world's major carbon emitters, rally nations to raise their ambitions and push progress further and faster." So, which I'm not doing the actual campaign ones, but I'm pretty sure he did join the Paris Climate Agreement.
He did.
I don't know.
He did. So
if
that's
he did
good.
all that, but
I don't think he has done much else other than
just like officially rejoin.
Yeah, he
it,
rejoined, but I don't think he's like, "Come on, guys, we got to reduce our carbon." Like,
yeah,
no,
he's not going any Captain Planet on everybody. So as good of a thing as the Paris Climate Agreement is, it is kind of hard for me to be excited about it because I feel like, it's a bunch of like rich dudes that run countries being like, how can we make very small changes to make everybody think that we're not killing the earth,
Yeah. And it's like too little too late,
Yeah, and again, like I guess it's something like it's better than nothing to like have people talking about it, but like it's
still,
I don't know, maybe I'm jaded, but
call me a green gem because I'm jaded.
Exactly. All right, and I guess this is gonna be a little bit more fast-paced episode because I'm doing 15. So
hit it.
Number 2, Defense Production Act. Joe Rocco's Modern Life Biden promised to use a Korean wartime law called the Defense Production Act to help with COVID-19. The Defense Production Act gives the president certain powers to influence domestic industry in times of crisis or hardship, like war and pandemics, I suppose, would be two things that come to mind.
Yeah. Little something called COVID-19.
Biden, during his campaign, stated he would fully use the Defense Production Act to ramp up production of masks, face shields, and other PPE so that the national supply of personal protective equipment exceeds demand and our stores and stockpiles, especially in hard-hit areas that serve disproportionately vulnerable populations, are fully replenished.
Hey, Joe, guess what? Failed!
Did not
fucking follow through on that.
So again, not a bad promise to make considering people are dying, but and it's kind of the least a government can do in a national emergency.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I guess if like we're gonna have a leader, you would think that they would be like, yeah, we should probably not let people die, right?
Right. Yeah, that would be like what you would want from a leader.
Good bare minimum shit, Joe Biden. Number 3, stop family separation at the border.
Yeah.
If you, the listener, have been paying any ounce of attention to the news over the past 3 years, you probably know about the family separation happening down in the southern border of the United States. If you have been living under a serene and non-political rock for a long time, first of all, fuck you, I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
and
for real.
Second off, Donald Jackrabbit Trump enacted a zero-tolerance law on April 6th, 2018, separating children from their parents at the border by destroying at the border, thus destroying multitudes of families of migrants.
Yeah, piece of shit.
I don't think I can think of a more evil thing.
Genuinely.
like that's, it's honestly like, it's like cartoon villain shit.
Yes.
Like to like separate a family at the border.
Like he wasn't just like, oh, like just keep doing, whatever border shit you were doing. No, he was like, make sure to separate more families.
Yeah.
Like
specifically remove the children from their parents.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's insane. It's
insane.
Yeah, it's quite something, I would say. But yeah, so Joe wanted to promise to get rid of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, reverse the transgendered military ban.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Jinx Yomi Trump banned trans individuals from serving in the military around 2017 to 2018. It was kind of a process that happened.
Yep.
And then Joe Rick and Morty Biden took this stance on his campaign. Biden will direct the U.S. Department of Defense to allow transgender service members to serve openly, receive needed medical treatment, and be free from discrimination. Mm-hmm. So, which is like good. Like I'm
like
glad
that should be a thing.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're getting like the medical treatment. That are
also
needed.
The medical treatment bit is actually that's like pretty huge.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. Yeah, and obviously, the folks here at Remarks, we're not huge fans of the military. And that doesn't seem, I wrote here, that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. I don't know. My sympathies toward the military haven't changed much. But
yeah, nope.
I just think it's funny because it's very classic liberal to be like, we're all about equality and being inclusive. That's why we allow any gender identity to commit war crimes in our country.
Fucking exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, I guess. But like, I don't know, can you fucking like... work on like the bathroom ban situation? Can you like help us get like gender affirming surgeries if we're not part of the killing machine of the United States? Like,
exactly, yeah.
It's like you gotta trade fucking something for something.
And even that, it's like, okay, like cool, but can we like not bomb Middle Eastern countries? You know,
yeah,
like
agenda
not bomb
number one.
Syria. Yeah, like there's a lot of other things we could be not doing.
Yeah.
But it's the we hate poor people BLM with a pride flag kind of liberal
heart
shit
thing. No heart pride flag. Yeah.
Exactly. Number 5, domestic terrorism law. With the outbreak of hate crimes and general racism and other fascist bullshit, Joe Rockhard Biden stated, I like that one.
No.
Work for a domestic terrorism law that respects free speech and civil liberties while making the same commitment to root out domestic terrorism as we have to stop being international terrorism. Mm-hmm. So same kind of thing as international terrorism. Did you?
God knows we've focused on international terrorism.
Too much.
Like for a long ass time.
Way too much. I mean, yeah, like it's insane. Well, and that's the thing is it's like no one thinks, like there's tons of terrorist attacks that are just done by like white dudes who live in America.
Exactly. But that's just never like the language that's used.
Yeah, and it's like people have that weird like, Muslim terrorism prejudice, and it's like a lot of them aren't even by like people of color at all. It's just white guys.
Yeah,
like
I would say like a majority is probably white guys.
Yeah, it's wild. Did you do any research into that one?
I talk about the Afghanistan situation.
Okay.
So not like a ton. But...
Oh, that's okay. Because I know like a bunch of human rights organizations actually came to Joe Biden after he promised that and said like, hey, maybe don't make a new law because there already are laws against domestic terrorism, and maybe make like a council or something. So he's kind of shifted from that because making some kind of like vague law would probably be used against people of color, you know?
Yep,
especially like
classic,
a domestic terrorism
classic
law. Yeah, so they were like, hey, maybe don't make a new law. Especially when we already have laws against that. Like, it's already illegal to do a terrorism in the United States. So
like
it's kind of a weird like way he phrased that, I guess.
Little bit,
but
yeah.
I don't know. Number 6, implement nationwide mask mandates. And I wrote here, a mandate? Sounds kind of gay to me, dude.
Maybe that's why people get so upset about it.
Yeah, it's way too gay.
They're actually just homophobic.
Yeah, they don't want men dating.
Man date?
A man date? Gross.
Oh, that's funny.
In early 2020, masks became a political and culture war after Donald Jigglypuff Trump mocked and refused to wear a mask, causing many of his supporters to take the same viewpoints on the protective covering. Biden's promise was implement mask mandates nationwide by working with governors and mayors and by asking the American people to do what they do best, step up in a time of crisis. Which, it's like, yeah, I mean, you can maybe say that's what they do best, but if we don't have any information
Yeah.
on what to do.
Yeah. And also, that never happened. A nationwide mask mandate literally never happened.
I know, like, the vaccine rolled out and whatnot, so there was some other things going on, but hasn't quite panned out like good old Joe wanted it to.
Yeah, which also there is a mask mandate in Salt Lake County right now, and I was at the hair store today getting some hair stuff for my hair job, and this lady was like in the aisle with me, and the employee walks over and she was like, "Hey, can I have you like put your mask up?" And she was like, "Well, I'm not near any people," and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I was maybe 6 feet away or whatever, but I'm literally right fucking
here down
and
the aisle.
And like the employee was like, "Well, it's just like the fucking law right now, so and she's like, "Well, I'm just not near anyone."
I can actually kick you out of the store right now.
Jesus Christ, lady.
You're kind of insane. Yeah.
We're still doing this?
Yeah, and that's like, it's kind of bad. I know, like, I was out at a bar, and you were there this weekend, and like, it was pretty hit or miss with the masks,
See, and that's the part that's like, anyway, we don't gotta fucking, that's the thing that's like stupid about this, is that it's like, well, okay, so then so I have to wear a mask walking inside and then I take it off. I mean, it's the same thing as the fucking, it's the same.
When I stand up, I go inside, I'm wearing a mask, and then I sit at my table and I take my mask off, and then I just freely talk, it's
exactly.
like, I don't know,
there's just no point.
It's kind of silly, but
anyway.
I don't know. Anywho,
everything's fine.
Number 7, end for-profit detention centers. So Joe Red Pill Biden went on record. Went on record promising this: no business should profit from the suffering of desperate people fleeing violence. Biden will ensure that facilities that temporarily house migrants seeking asylum are held to the highest standards of care and prioritize the safety and dignity of families above all.
Oh,
and
Joe.
My thought is this. Okay, if you recognize that putting these people in prison-like conditions is bad and that they're fleeing violence, it said in the quote, fleeing violence, why would you detain them at all? What do you mean? Yes, I think not having a profit incentive for imprisoning migrants is good.
Right.
Excuse me. But is imprisoning migrants at all good or morally justifiable?
Like, maybe that's the question you need to be asking yourself.
True.
If you can recognize that, like, the situation is bad and rough, Joe.
Maybe people aren't illegal.
Maybe
being a human from a different region of the world and crossing an imaginary line we drew in the sand that we made up because we're fucking assholes isn't bad.
Imagine there's no countries.
It's John Lennon said it
isn't
best.
hard to do. Okay.
Good old Jay Len.
Jay Leno. That song was written by Jay Leno, the talk show host. It's crazy. It was like a really poignant moment in his career that he just like wrote this like beautiful song and then went back to like making weird comedy.
I love your Jay Leno.
That's my Jay Leno. Hey,
yeah,
Jay Leno.
I'm Jay Leno. Oh God.
We're going off the rails.
It's started off the rails, actually.
That's true. That's actually yeah. We've never been on the rails. Where there is no rail.
I don't even know what a rail is. No, I think I've probably said this. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but there's this like video of Ben Shapiro talking about the song Imagine, because like the song Imagine is like it's just like the Communist Manifesto, basically. It's like, imagine there's no countries, imagine there's no possessions, like no heaven or whatever. So it's like a communist song, and Ben Shapiro's like ripping on it or whatever, and then at the end of the video he like plays the song, and like there's points in the song where like you can't even hear what Ben Shapiro is saying, like his commentary, because the song's so loud. And I'm like, you just like are platforming the thing that you were just like trying to argue against. It's just very funny.
Oh, Ben.
And also, I don't know. I mean, kind of fuck John Lennon. He was a little abusive. I know that.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Like,
it's a nice song, though. You know,
dude's dead. Like
you're
arguing with a dead guy.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like you're arguing with a dead man, and a song that like essentially has kind of like lost its meaning anyway. I mean, fucking. Case in point, goddamn the celebrities singing us a little version of it or whatever.
That was
was cringe. Okay, anyway.
I wonder what John Lennon would have thought about that.
Same.
Probably would have not been stoked on it,
Yeah.
I would imagine. But, yeah, anyway, you know what won't sing you a song during a national pandemic telling you to be hopeful when a bunch of people lost their jobs and are suffering immensely?
Products and services.
Products and services.
Imagine there's no products. Anyway.
Ads. We're back. We're talking about sailors.
Sailors. Make sailors cool again.
Yeah, sailors did used to be cool.
Sailors were like the guy.
Yeah, they're
like,
the manly man.
Yeah, like sailors was like a sexy thing, and now it's just like boat shoes and a pink polo shirt and like, on a yacht.
And like a natty light.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and those like weird, like those like Oakley glasses.
A natty light, Oakley glasses, and a lot of sexual assault allegations.
Fucking yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what too is it's one of those natty lights, but it's like the pink lemonade flavor natty lights. Like fuck you. Fuck you.
Just drink a seltzer.
Yeah. Like grow a fucking beard, get scurvy, and fucking sail the deadly
get
seas,
scurvy,
you bitch.
Eat some spinach, get your muscles all fucking popping.
Yeah.
Get an anchor tattoo.
Exactly.
On your arm, and then like I don't know,
like you don't just get to hang out in Bermuda, okay?
Exactly.
Like Daryl,
fucking Bryce, chill
Bryce!
out, dog.
Like why don't you fucking sail the Arctic goddamn ocean like a real sailor?
Yeah, either be like a real sailor, like a military ass, like old timey sailor, or be a pirate.
Yeah.
And one of the two. Be a fucking pirate.
Yep.
Steal shit from other boats.
Yep.
Like,
yes.
I condone becoming a pirate, living on the sea, and stealing shit from boats.
Fuck yeah. Specifically from these new age sailors.
Yes. The Neo sailors.
Neo sailors?
Steal all their shit.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the list. Number 8. For Joe Biden promises. Decriminalize marijuana.
Yeah.
I think in my note for this one on like my notes page I wrote because obviously.
Yeah,
like,
right, literally.
Like I don't feel like no one really has to hear this, but obviously weed is way less dangerous than alcohol. The only reason it's illegal is from a propaganda campaign from like 100 years ago.
Go off.
So let's grow up, America, and let people get fucking lit and smoke weed without having to worry about fucking, I don't know, getting swatted at their house or something.
Let me fucking smoke a fat doob.
Yeah, I know. Everybody deserves that.
Exactly.
And again, like, I don't know, it's stupid because it's just like alcohol and cigarettes are legal, and both of those kill you way faster. So faster.
The only way that like marijuana would really kill you is if like you were driving while you were like super high and like crashed or whatever. Yeah.
Which again is kind of how like and that's I guess that's alcohol too, but like
alcohol can like genuinely damage your body.
Your liver,
I don't really think marijuana can. Maybe it makes you kind of stupid, but whatever. I mean
we're all kind of stupid.
I don't fucking care. Yeah,
and and I know like. There is like tar that gets into your lungs, but again, not anywhere near the level of cigarettes.
Right, exactly.
That shit's legal. And again, they can tax the fuck out of it and make so much money.
You dumb bitches.
So stupid. Anyway, yeah, weed tight. Government not tight.
Loose,
if you will.
Very loose.
So loose. Anyway, number 9, require federal candidates to release tax returns. This is a good one. So Donald Jigsaw Trump refused to release his tax returns to the public, which is something that every federal candidate has done going back to the 1970s. Does this mean that Donald Jockstrap Trump is hiding something from the public? Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, that's absolutely
1,000,000%.
But also, my question is, why do we? And again, this is kind of where like everything goes back to.
Yeah.
But like, why do we even have a system that lets people fuck it up so much?
Yep.
That like not giving your tax returns is like, oh, well, he's obviously cheating the system. It's like, why do we even have a system that can be cheated then? Like, it's stupid.
Literally. God damn it.
Ugh.
And also, I feel like that should have been a requirement like a long fucking time ago. Because here we are, you fucking jackasses, taking handouts, making out, and giving blowies to the NRA.
Exactly.
In return for, like, fucking, now you get a private jet or whatever.
A blow career to the NRA.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and that fucking, lobbying's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
But, yeah.
It's insane.
And again, like, why is Joe Radio Rebel Biden not implementing, or why is he trying to implement this when he could just, like, fix the tax system? Just change the way that taxes work.
Because it's the fucking democratic it's the democratic way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're just going to put a bunch of Band-Aids on shit.
Yeah.
Again, and I feel like people have said this before, but, like, the tax system's so stupid. It's like...
It's insane.
They're like, hey, we know how much you owe us in taxes, or how much we owe you, but instead of us telling you, we're going to have you guess.
Yeah.
And then if you get audited
and it's
and
really
you're wrong...
hard
and
to
it's really
figure
hard,
it out also.
And if you get audited and you're wrong, then you owe us a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And you could go to prison.
You could go to federal prison.
But good luck.
Like, what? What is that?
It's so dumb.
What is that? I feel like the IRS is not that fucking busy. They can yearly send out... type in a calculator, or better yet, open a fucking Excel spreadsheet, IRS.
Yeah, IRS. You ever heard of Excel? I could teach you. I'm really good at it.
Proficient.
Proficient. Number 10, 2 years of community college for free, as well as making public college free for families making less than $125,000 a year.
Would be sick.
This was two promises. I put them together because they're kind of the same
thing.
This one is kind of self-explanatory. College is getting more and more necessary to have any kind of upward mobility in our society. So charging people insane amounts of money just to try to get an education is crazy. So why not make it no money to do that? I don't know. And again, maybe I'm just like a dirty Marxist or whatever, but I just feel like it's like a no-brainer, obviously. It's like, oh, this thing that's going to help you better yourself and like get a better job that is literally required to live. Let's make it free. Let's make it free for people so that like they can do something with it, right? Like,
well, and let's talk about like the fact that like Biden literally came in his presidency during the pandemic. Clearly we needed more fucking like nurses and doctors and shit. You gotta go to school to do that, and it's fucking expensive, and more people would be doctors and nurses if it wasn't so fucking expensive.
It's true, and that's one of those professions, too, that's, like, fortunately for doctors and nurses, well, maybe more doctors, I guess, you can usually pay off your student loans, because you're making a fuck ton of money after you get out of college, but, like, I don't know, like, teachers, like, you got $100,000 in debt, and you're making what, like, $25,000 a year. Yeah, probably more than like 35,000. I think it's like
30 something.
Yeah, it's like you can't
Which
pay.
Which is insane.
You can't pay that shit off. Like
no, you never will.
But also,
you never will.
And again, that's the thing. But also, like you need a full degree to be a teacher.
Exactly.
Like, you can't go around that. Like
Yep.
It's frustrating.
Scientists to help us figure out the science of this fucking pandemic.
Yeah, more scientists, please.
Please.
Free
college, please.
Free college, please.
Sorry, keep going.
I was going to say, so Joe Red Eye Flight Biden said this on his campaign. He would enact legislation to ensure that every hardworking individual, including those attending school part-time and dreamers, young adults who came to the U.S. as children, can go to community college for up to 2 years without having to pay tuition. Which, again, sounds tight.
Yeah. Didn't happen. has not happened.
No. Last time I checked, let me see here. It's me typing on the keyboard. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
Yeah. Full
of shit.
Whole ass horse shit.
Horse shit. Actually, that's even worse than bullshit.
It is.
Right.
Something about it makes it feel worse.
Yeah. I don't know what maybe it's just because like it's more pronounced.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Horse
shit.
Somebody used the phrase horse shit the other day, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It just sounds, it's like way more aggressive, because I feel like bullshit's so like run of the mill. Everybody hears bullshit. If you're like, that's horse shit, it's like, well, fuck, okay, you're right.
Like, wow. Yeah.
This is serious.
Would one of our fans make a hierarchy of like shit?
Yeah.
Like what is the worst shit? Where it's like what is the low?
Like dog shit.
Yeah.
Horse shit. Bullshit. What order are we going in here?
True. Because I feel like like if we were gonna do all the animals, like cat shit seems like it's pretty low on the totem pole.
I would say
like, you don't hear that very often. Cats usually cover it up themselves.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty manageable.
They know how to do it in a box. Like,
exactly.
It's fine.
Like they kind of know how to do their thing. But like dog shit, a little bit harder. You usually gotta like clean that shit up. Like
exactly. Bullshit. I feel like it's like. Cows are out, and I mean, it sucks, I guess. There's the whole, like, cows farting and the ozone layer thing.
Yeah.
But, like, it's out in, like, a field. It's whatever. Horse shit, I would argue, could be the worst because you're riding your horse around town, and it just starts pooping. Literally wherever.
Yeah. Literally wherever it wants.
And then I'm driving down fucking State Street or whatever, and there's horse shit all around.
Literally on the ground.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Also, I guess another thing for, like, cow shit, manure is useful.
Well, don't they do horse as well?
Probably, I don't know.
So I mean,
something
that's
to take
a little,
into consideration. Yeah. Get back to us. That's what we need the scientists for.
Yeah, that's right, listener. If we have any scientist listeners,
the sciencers,
let us know. Sciencers, no. I was trying to smash up the name like remarks and scientists, but
remarxists.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Number 11. It's all right. Increase federal minimum wage. This is a good one. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 for over a decade at this point, and it is absolutely insane to me that we've not made a single lick of progress on this thing the past 10 years. Yeah. Joe, really cool guy Biden, promised to increase the federal minimum wage to $15 across the country and eliminate minimum tipped wage. So if you think that $7.25 is an appropriate wage to live on in our current cost of living, I would challenge you to try to afford anything making $7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Go out, get a minimum wage job. I can let you do $8 an hour.
Sure.
Get a minimum wage job, and then come back to me and say that shit to my face again.
Yep. Exactly.
It's literally, it's so stupid. And
it's insane.
$15 an hour is still too low.
It's still not enough. Literally, it's still not enough. Yeah.
It's stupid. Anyway.
It is stupid.
Number 12, offer a public option for healthcare. So this one's a little bit tricky. Joe Reptar from the Rugrats Biden, I had to clarify where it's from, said this on his campaign. Whether you are covered through your employer, buying your insurance on your own, or going without coverage altogether, Biden will give you the choice to purchase a public health insurance option like Medicare. This might be something we would have to do a whole episode on as well, universal health care, but because it can be kind of complex. But the gist is, if you only provide an option for governmental assistance in healthcare, rich people will continue to be able to afford private healthcare, and poor people will then be stuck with less adequate healthcare and health insurance, which will then still make like insurance companies fucking rich because, again, rich people are going to do it. And then, even like middle class people are going to want like private healthcare plans because they're better.
Right. Yep.
So it'll continue to fuck people over. If you provide one single-payer healthcare service, like what Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren wanted, through the government, everybody pays into them. It's socialism at its finest.
Yes, truly.
Rich and poor people pay into it alike, and it pays for everybody. So again, as a poor person, you would, in essence, be paying for rich people's medical care, but vice versa.
Also, right. Exactly.
So everybody's paying their fair share into the service, and then the resources would be enough to cover everybody who has needs.
Right.
And again, like it's more complex than that. You have to go into like what would be covered and things like that. But that's kind of the basics of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, it's kind of a dumb. I just feel like he's missing the point,
Exactly. Once again, Which I have a fucking bone to pick with this because let me tell you, once again, broken promise. Didn't happen because when I fucking had to sign up for health insurance because last year or this year I turned 26. Goodbye, mommy and daddy's health insurance. I couldn't get fucking Medicare or Medicaid. I never can remember the difference.
I think Medicaid is when you're old.
Okay, Medicare. I couldn't get fucking Medicare because I'm self-employed and there's all this fucking shit. So that wasn't true, Joe. Didn't get it. B, my health insurance now, guess how much it cost me per month? Just guess.
Oh no. $300.
$430 or something like that.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Insanity.
That's
more than my car payment.
I was gonna say that's like a car payment. Honestly, that's like rent in like a roommate household.
Yeah. It's like that's like just under my rent.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
insane.
It's stupid.
You fucking kidding me? Anyway.
Ugh. Yeah.
Going off this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Number 13 twice. My list got messed up as well.
Hey, so that's just how lists go sometimes, you know.
Number 13. Strengthen unions. So, amidst the union busting of certain companies last year, Amazon, Joe Rich Guy Biden promised to strengthen unions and increase worker power and rights to increase wages and get better benefits. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't believe that has happened at all.
No.
So
No. It's
just
not.
no.
Just no. Just straight up no.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, like, it's just very frustrating to me because I'm all about unionizing, you know?
Totally.
Like, obviously, I think everybody should unionize, stronger together than apart. Solidarity, if you will.
Amen.
But it's just, I just feel like, you know, people that are like, oh, well, just, you know, unionize. And it's like, that's great. Like, obviously, you should unionize, but do we expect like the workers of a place to have the same resources as like the bosses of a place, you know? Like obviously they're going to have more resources, which is why it's like unionization is great, but also could we get a little bit of revolution going on too? Maybe a little bit of taking all their stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of chopping people's heads off.
A little bit of a redistributing the wealth, if you will. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I missed 14.
Who cares?
Either way. Lastly, number 15, which is provide universal preschool. I did this one as kind of a wholesome one. I don't know if this has happened or not, but Joe Robinette Biden, it says actual.
That is the real one.
Promised to provide a child care option to families for 3 and 4-year-olds. This may be, I'm probably looking too much into it because if you didn't know this, I did used to teach preschool. But it does frustrate me as a previous preschool teacher because he was framed it very much like it was like a child care option, like, oh, we're going to give child care to everybody, so we'll make preschool free or whatever for 3 and 4-year-olds. And it's like, I get that, but also preschool is very important and has a lot of educational benefits.
Yes.
Studies have shown preschool helps children in a variety of ways, from social emotional growth to better collaboration skills later on in life. And I just feel like it makes it sound like, oh, like preschool is just something to drop your kids off at when you're at work. And it's like,
preschool is not childcare.
Yeah, it's different. Like, especially if you're in a good program, like there'll probably be like actual teachers teaching like what a kindergarten teacher would teach. You know?
Right.
So yeah, it's important. People should put their kids in Put your kids in preschool.
Put your kids in preschool, you guys.
And yeah, did you know in Utah, kindergarten isn't required?
Yeah.
You can just start in first grade.
Yeah.
Which I feel like would be terrible. It would be a terrible idea.
I would not like it.
No, I mean, imagine, because you're going to be 6, turning 7.
Yeah.
Going into first grade. Imagine not having any kind of schooling up until that point.
Yeah, not good.
You'd be stupid.
Yeah.
You'd be a dumb kid. I'm sorry, but if your parents didn't put you in kindergarten and just dropped you in first grade, you'd be dumb. I mean, you probably would get smarter. I learned
some good shit in kindergarten as well.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is too is like I don't know for all preschools, but my preschool was at my church, which I mean I don't know how to feel about that now, but anyway. But like when I went to kindergarten, then I was like in the actual school building, and so I got a taste for like, oh, this is what like going to big school feels like. You know what I mean? And I feel like I learned some valuable life lessons. Also, Shout out to my first grade teacher, Mrs. Barbana.
Hey.
She was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So Barbans, if you're listening, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, and again, like the stuff that you learn obviously in the lower grades, like you'll pick it up somewhere else along the line. Like you're gonna know your colors by the time you're out of high school. Hopefully. But like, but again, there's a lot to be said for like social emotional growth, learning to like be around other people and collaborate and stuff. Like that stuff, if you start them young, they're way better and more adjusted later on in life.
Exactly. Lay that baseline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Which I'm going to go ahead and say I do not think the free preschool thing has happened.
No, I'm pretty positive
I haven't.
It hasn't either.
Yeah. So.
I've never seen anything about it. I don't have any children.
I also don't. So.
I don't plan on it ever. But gotta say anytime soon. But I was like, maybe not ever.
Maybe not ever.
Yeah. Unless me and my boyfriend have a pregnancy scare.
Ooh, shit. Yeah.
Which would be scary.
That would be scary. That would be like really scary. You
True.
know, if you did though, next Jesus? Gay Jesus?
Gay Jesus.
Would be kind of sick.
That would be kind of tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I could get jiggy with some gay Jesus.
Totally. Yeah. And then I would fucking get to hang out with Jesus all the time because it's my best friend's baby. That's sweet.
True. And like instead of like being born in a manger, he's like born at Suntrap. And like instead of like three
drag queens
come and they're like,
oh
no. They're like, we brought you gifts of condoms, poppers, and and like I don't know,
iced coffee.
Yeah.
I was like,
Starbucks.
What's a gay thing?
That'd be
beautiful.
good. That'd be good.
I want that.
Me too. Anyway, that's all I got.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
Some high fucking promises from old
True.
Joe.
Old Joe.
Joe Rocket Biden.
Joe Rocket Biden. Joe
Yeah.
Rocket Man Biden.
Rocket Man.
Before we get into yours, I think
Yes.
we should Joe roll the ads Biden.
Very nice. Good one.
Thank you.
Ads.
Dad rock all day, every day
Mm-hmm.
is what I just said.
And thought it was funny enough to interlude the podcast.
Interlude the podcast with it, yeah. No, Dad, I don't want to listen to Van Halen records with you. I don't want to listen to Boston, Dad.
Boston. I don't really feel like listening to the Beach Boys currently.
Yeah. And I feel like that's even like better than, well, I don't know. I mean, my dad listened to a lot of Queen with me, which is cool.
Queen
I
is
like
pretty
Queen.
sick, yeah.
Queen's cool. I don't know. What else I'd say my dad probably liked Journey. My mom
yeah.
was really into REO Speedwagon.
Huh.
Which was interesting. And I saw them at
Ooh.
USANA once
Ooh.
with Chicago.
Oh.
Because
old rock bands love to name themselves after like a city.
after a place.
Boston.
Yeah.
Boston, Chicago.
Chicago. What are some other ones? I don't even.
I don't know. I don't know bands.
Tampa
I don't know
Bay.
Old bands.
I don't even know. Yeah, they
Fayetteville.
New Orleans, like
New Orleans.
Yeah, that, or I feel like they have like really cheesy like maybe I don't know if it's like the bars and like the people that like the bands that made the bands name themselves this, or it's just the bands that have like formed this culture around them. I don't know which way it goes.
Totally.
But like when I see, like, I feel like there's a very specific person who likes Guns N' Roses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's like you see a person and you're like, they like Guns N' Roses too much, actually.
Yes. Just like there's a Grateful Dead guy.
There's always a Grateful Dead guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of REO Speedwagon, and I hope I'm not wrong thinking that this is their song, you should cover Losing My Religion. I just feel like it would sound good in your voice.
Yeah,
is that them?
It's not, but
Fuck. Damn it.
That's REM, but yeah.
Oh, okay, it's the letters.
It's close. It's close.
Okay,
yeah.
you guys. Maybe
But-
I don't know. I don't know if I know a single REO Speedwagon song.
Do you know that song that's like I don't know if you'll know it. It's like heard it from a friend who. No, nothing.
Probably.
It's fine.
Well, we tried.
We did
Just
try.
like Joe Biden. Just kidding.
I don't know if he
really
really tried
has
that
not tried
hard.
at
yeah.
all. At
Did
all.
he really try that hard?
No. And let me tell you about it. So you told us about the lofty promises that Joe Biden has laid out during his campaign. So now let's talk about what he has actually achieved during his first year of presidency.
I'm here for it.
And
listeners, I was
really
going to say, feel free to make up your own middle names
Yeah.
for Joe Biden.
It's a fun game.
Yeah. Comment them on
Comment.
the Instagram or the Twitter. And maybe if Phoebe's okay with it, maybe if you're a patron and you give us your best middle names, we'll read them next time.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I don't like promising things for the Patreon without Phoebe's approval first, but I felt like she'd be okay with that.
Taylor is good at making promises and following through with them. Unlike our friend Joe Biden, friend of the pod, Joe Red Robin Biden.
Joe Red Robin Biden.
Yeah. So I think anyone living in America right now is aware of just how abysmal the Biden administration's response to the COVID crisis has been. Things were really looking up in the beginning of 2021 when... Excuse you, sir.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. It's okay. When vaccines became widely available, this is one campaign promise that Biden did successfully follow through with. On December 8th, 2020, Biden announced, quote, "My administration will get at least 100 million COVID vaccine shots into the arms of the American people in the first 100 days. 100 million shots in the first 100 days. He repeats for emphasis. And 58 days into the Biden presidency, the goal had been met on March 18th, 2021. Biden was able to increase the daily administration of COVID vaccines from 900,000 to 2.5 million in just 3 months, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's good.
With new policies in place focusing purely on COVID vaccinations, he bought additional vaccine doses. He opened up who would be able to administer vaccines using like the National Guard as well as newly trained vaccinators to help increase the amount of people actually available to do the shots. He opened a large number of vaccination sites and used the Defense Production Act, call back to Taylor's part, to ramp up vaccine production. A quote from NPR describes the Defense Production Act, which we don't really need to because Taylor did, but here we go.
Go for it.
The law was enacted in 1950, and it gives the president's powers to allocate materials, services, and facilities, and award contracts that take priority over any other contract to promote the national defense. In this case, the law is being used to defend the country against the virus.
Yours was better.
Listen, no.
I just said Korean War era.
I mean,
You gave the actual date.
NPR really did it. I copied and pasted. That's all.
That's it.
So.
Shout out NPR.
Shout out NPR for real, though. You guys? Sponsor?
Give us our own show on NPR.
I feel like you guys are kind of, you're kind of socialist, kind of lefty left.
A little
So,
left here and there.
So Biden's staff did have to make a clarification on the wording of this promise, concluding that when Joe said 100 million vaccines being administered, that actually translated to 50 million people being fully vaccinated because of the double doses with like Pfizer and Moderna and stuff. And
but, like,
not 100 million people getting their first dose.
But if they did it if they didn't by the 50-day mark, couldn't they just do it again? Like,
I mean, you would think.
Right? Why couldn't it be that, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
But yeah, which like still cool, but I just think it's really funny that they were like, hold on, everyone.
Wait a second, yeah.
Don't be disappointed because he meant 50 million people.
Well, and that was like that shit that happened with the fucking stimulus checks where he was like,
yes, son of a bitch.
Because how much did they give us originally? Like 600, or there was like a smaller one, and then he just like added on to that to make 1,400 for everybody instead of like giving us another 1,400.
Exactly.
Like,
which he really made it sound like.
Yeah, all right, Joe.
Yeah, fucking Joe. Fucking Joe. So things were looking good for old Sleepy Joe in 2021. People were feeling much happier with vaccines being administered. It felt like the world was returning to a level of safety. We could fucking hang out and go to concerts and shit. That was nice. It was cool. It was fun. Until things began to feel dark again with the new COVID strains Delta and Omicron. Sorry, also, you guys, it's a bit of a bummer on my side over here, so sorry to bring it down.
That's what you come here for.
I mean, it's true.
You come here because you're a masochist.
Yeah.
And you fucking hate yourself.
You're not going to really listen to remarks to be like, I want to feel good about America.
True.
The new COVID strains Delta and Omicron spreading rapidly in spring and late fall of 2021. The Biden admin's chipper attitude towards vaccine implementation seemed to deflate when that did not solve the COVID issue.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. And again, I know, like, you can't predict, like, you know, variants and things like that, obviously. But, like, I feel like they got really gung-ho on the vaccines, which were great, but, like, then they didn't follow through with any of, like, the mask mandates or the, you know, getting all of the PPE into everything, you know, all the things. It's like,
well, and the calling off of the mask mandate was, like, very premature.
Yeah,
like, I
agree.
think maybe we could have avoided some more things if the mask mandate was still in place.
Oh, yeah,
but,
I would agree.
you know, it's fine. So once Delta had started to spread more and more rapidly, cases rising and event plans like concerts being canceled, the belief in an ending to the pandemic decreased. And now with Omicron raging, I think a lot of us are feeling very hopeless, and the response from Biden has not helped to quell that hopelessness at all. Which is what I had. Little Omicron.
Yeah,
up in this
variant.
Respiratory system.
Yeah, you did have the vid.
The vid. So Biden promised to get 500 million at-home rapid tests mailed out to Americans and to set up a website where citizens could easily order these at-home tests. However, as of December 21st, 2021, Biden had still not signed the contracts to get this plan in motion. And with the holidays approaching, it was desperate times to get a test. Almost every store now is still sold out of rapid tests, and lines for testing sites are wrapping around the buildings. Not only was this promise not followed through on by Biden, who apparently doesn't know how to hold a pen and sign his own goddamn name, but he failed to consider the companies and staff actually making these tests. We know that there has already been a huge delay in many products due to supply chain issues and decrease of staff. Jesus Christ, Phoebe. Decrease of staff members. And with this surprise announcement, these test-making companies were feeling the pressure. Several companies told news sites they were not prepared for this apparent increase of rapid tests and were making them as fast as they could. And not only this, but at-home tests require a very large viral load to actually detect the virus. And I personally feel that this has not been well communicated to the public at all.
No, because I've heard, because again, you have to wait however many days before you even get a test. And that's I think that's exclusive for the at-home test, right? If you go to a testing site, they can do it pretty better.
Yeah, even though with PCRs, like, you should, if you get a test like the day after you've been exposed, you're not going to get a real answer, even with a PCR.
Yeah, it's
and
stupid.
People don't know that.
Yeah,
people don't fucking know that.
Nobody knows. And
the only reason I know is because my sister, who was on a previous episode, works in public health, so she tells me these things. But the layman person does not know this.
True, and nobody's been telling people, and if the news is out there, it's just like everybody's so exhausted from following this and like how everything changes literally every other fucking day. Dude.
Well, it's just like the SLC mask mandate, or Salt Lake County mask mandate. Like, it was like all of a sudden, hey, there's going to be a mask mandate at midnight, and I was like, is this a real thing? I literally didn't even know. I found out because a friend of mine, posted something on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I did not see any news things about it. I didn't get some kind of alert, like nothing.
Yeah,
it's just like, what the fuck, you guys?
My boyfriend, Justin, we mention him all the time, he told me about it because they have to enforce it at his work, you know? So it's like, that's how I found out.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know from anything else.
No. Like, I'd fucking send us a text, Spencer. I don't know. Fuck.
You want to shoot us a fucking... Hit me up on, I don't know, anything. Send me a MySpace DM at least. Jesus.
Fucking swipe me on Grindr and let me
know
what up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I wonder if Spencer Cox has a Grindr.
That would be
That'd be a
saucy.
scandal.
Yeah.
Is he LDS?
Yeah.
That would be a saucy
he is
scandal.
LDS, because remember that whole thing where he asked people to pray for rain?
Oh, yeah.
Spencer.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then, of course, had like a bitch-ass response when people were like, what the fuck?
Like, hey,
that's dumb.
maybe prayers aren't going to get us out of this drought we're in.
Maybe thoughts and prayers are a bad idea. Oh, man. All right. So rapid tests will likely only give you a true positive response if you are symptomatic and if you are nearly 5 days into those symptoms. The symptoms alone, not even just from exposure. Asymptomatic people will highly likely receive a false negative from the at-home test. So even if these kits were mailed out in a timely manner, I feel that without proper direction from the Biden admin, there will be a lot of false negatives going around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
At least Omnichrome.
Adrenochrome?
No, I mean that, first of all. But the new variant
Omicron.
of it, Omicron. At least that sounds like a Transformer.
It's true.
So
at least
cool.
it's like kind of cool. You're like, fun name, I guess.
Like it could be an Autobot, yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Or a Decepticon.
I feel like Omicron is a Decepticon.
It does have a Decepticon
sure.
vibe.
Unfortunately,
for sure.
not.
Sorry, Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Another big fat dumbass response from Biden when asked where to find this is so God when asked where to find free COVID testing, as he kind of fucking promised, was literally to tell people to Google it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Genuinely, this is what the President of the United States said. Yeah. When asked where to find free testing. That also, side note, should be free no matter what.
Yeah, no,
should
for
still
sure.
fucking
it should
be
just
free.
be free. And yeah, Joe.
Joe?
What about people who don't have internet, Joe? What about people who don't know how to use computers? Literally, tons of old people, the people that are most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Probably don't know how to Google things.
No,
not
really. A lot of them don't. What about homeless people? You know, or like you said, people no access to computers. Yeah. Libraries, I think, are open now, but they were closed for a while.
True.
Because of fucking COVID.
And even then, it's like you have to get to the library.
I gotta get to a library.
You have to have a library card, like things like that. Like
true.
What do you? Yeah, Joe. Like that's
just fuck you. Fuck you,
Joe. Why don't you start Googling some bitches?
Bitches. So he said, quote, "In the last 2 weeks, we've stood up federal testing sites all over the country, and we're adding more each and every day. Google COVID test near me. Go there. Google, COVID test near me on Google to find the nearest site where you can get a test most often and free." Okay.
Yeah. Again, and again, it would have been fine if he was like, "Here's the testing sites. You can find them really easily in in Google if you like have access to that. But also, here's what else we're gonna do to spread out words. Whether that's outreach programs or whatever. You know, like there's other ways you can do it. Like it's not the Googling." Although that is funny, it's the lack of any other options.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and first of all, it's like he literally said he was going to mail us all tests. Didn't happen. And then they also said that they were going to set up like a website. The fucking White House was going to set up this website where you could go to get these free COVID tests, but they didn't. So, cool. Yeah. So that's really cool. And the other thing is, even if I do simply Google COVID test near me, many of the facilities are charging for these tests, and the lines for these testing sites are literally hours long.
Yeah.
So, great.
Thanks, Joe.
Sleepy Joe. So to wrap up the COVID portion of this episode, I will end on one of the other most ludicrous things Biden has said concerning his administration's actions in handling COVID. Quote, "There is no federal solution. This gets solved at a state level."
Yeah. This is kind of one of those things, because again, I'm not very pro federal government, as everybody knows.
Totally.
But this is one of those things that's like, if we're gonna have a federal government, protecting people from a virus should be something you do. Like.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
And also, it's just such a, passing the buck fucking answer. He's like, well, there's nothing we can do. So this is up to not me.
It's actually the states.
This is not my fault, and I don't have to do anything.
So frustrating.
Yeah, he's a little fucking bitch.
Yeah. No, again, this is like one of the things, again, like the federal government, they'll fucking have laws, like, for instance, like fucking making marijuana illegal. Like, they have that law, which, again, like, there are places, states that have legalized it, but it's still federally illegal. And be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll just, like, shut you down if we ever, like, decide to enforce that law. But then on things that's literally a national crisis, be like, oh, it's up to the states. Yeah. It's all the states. They need to figure it out. Like, it's so frustrating, dude.
It's stupid. So Biden recently pledged to aid state governors in their fight against Omicron, which, like, shouldn't he have been doing that already?
You
like,
think?
Isn't that, shouldn't I?
That's a given,
like,
Joe.
I don't know if the fact that you are like, oh yeah, now I'm going to do that. Like, what? What? That's like when you're like buying, I don't know, like fucking a cheese product or something. It's like, now with real cheese. And it's like, was it not always?
What else?
What have I been eating?
What else would it be?
Yeah. So he stated about the governors, he said, quote, "My message to the governors is simple. If you need something, say something. We're going to have your back any way we can." Which, like, cool, I guess.
Thanks, man. But what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
because you don't.
You don't. You haven't historically up to this point. And also, again, like, if you need something, say something. Like,
yeah, the fuck is that?
Okay, cool, but like, what are you gonna do? Like,
right. Like, it seems like you should have already had the backs of these governors of the country you run, but I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid.
Also, just like have, we're gonna give this amount of PPP out to these states, and anybody who, this state needs this amount, and this is the supply that we have, and this is what we're bringing in, and this is our plan. But if you need something, hit me up.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Shoot
HMU.
me a text. Yeah. HMU. Joe Biden literally said HMU governors.
True.
Snapchat me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And this plan has already totally backfired because many governors are total dumbasses and also evil. Like the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who, quote, "prohibited any entity, including private businesses, from imposing COVID-19 vaccination requirements on employees or customers." Cool.
Classic Texas.
Yeah. Or the governor of Florida, who imposed a restriction on mask and vaccine mandates. So it's like, yeah, dude, like, fucking, you're not doing your fucking job and, like, making sure that all the states of this country you run are, like, collaborating in order to, like, eradicate this fucking virus. And so, of course, like, Republican-ass governors and even fucking Democratic-ass governors are gonna, like, do the stupid shit they're gonna do.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, it's like, yeah, like, fuck these governors, but like, the information is so all over the place. It's like, okay,
really
literally a month ago we were all chill to start going out again, and now it's like, oh, stay inside, wear masks and all this stuff. It's like, if I was a governor, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do either.
Right.
Like,
exactly. And, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe be like, yeah, this is a state, fucking thing, and the governors are in charge, but, like, the governors have to make policies collaborating with, like, public health officials or something. I don't know.
That would be great, yeah, like, public health officials, even just, like, collaborating with the federal government and, like, the things that they have and know. It's like, instead of just being like, hit me up, dude, if you need something, like, god damn it.
Yeah, fucking, yeah. Ugh. So for my next part of this Joe Biden breakdown extravaganza, I have to tell you that when you Google Joe Biden ice, the first thing that comes up is Joe Biden ice cream. And it's literally just a bunch of pictures of Joe Biden absolutely schlobbing on a fucking vanilla cone.
Oh, God.
Like, genuinely, just pages and pages of this man completely throat-goating some frozen cow cream, gobbling down some fucking soft serve.
You brought out the adjectives.
It's
heavily.
It's like,
yeah,
he's like fully, like, he is enjoying
slobbing on this fucking sugary frozen knob right here is what 100%. It is.
100%. Listeners, I encourage you to try this at home. Just Google the words Joe Biden ice. First fucking Google suggestion that pops up, Joe Biden ice cream. pages and pages of this man fucking slurping down.
He's gawking 3000ing.
Gawk, double fist twist 3000. Some fucking
frozen deliciousness.
Frozen treats.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts. But we are not here to talk about the president's proclivity for frozen treats. We are here to talk about yet another broken promise from old Joey B. Joe Biden has promised during his campaign to treat immigration with more compassion and to stop the splitting up of migrant families and to lower the number of people in ICE facilities, like Taylor mentioned to us. So here's what's gone on with that, folks.
Woo.
Get ready. Get disappointed. Get ready to be disappointed. Things are actually worse than they were under the Trump administration.
Yes, we love to hear it.
Woo! We're number 2. Under the Trump admin, Border Patrol agents had been instructed to arrest every single undocumented person they find, regardless of if that person was committing a crime at the time or not, and to get them deported ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
So that's fucked up.
That's stupid and bad.
Yeah. And this, of course, just increased the already horribly racist actions of Border Patrol agents and caused distress for families with migrant members. When Biden took office, he did begin to strip away some of the old Trump policies, and it seemed for a moment that maybe Biden would follow through on some of the promises he had made. One thing Biden had said during his campaign was that a large amount of immigrants living in the United States did come here legally with a visa. And note, I fucking hate using the word legal and illegal to describe a literal human being.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking creepy.
It is.
And not real.
It's also
you can't
fake.
be just illegal as a human, but all right. But those visas had since expired. And if you are not aware, listeners, it is a very, very difficult process to renew your visa. I have a friend who was brought here very young by her parents. And so she has to renew her work visa every year. And there was one year where I don't know if I'm going to like say this story exactly right, because it's been like a while since this, but basically what had happened was that like she needed to renew her driver's license in October of that year, but her work visa was expiring a month earlier and she couldn't renew her driver's license without her visa. And but she needed her visa it was like it was just like
a back and forth.
Yeah. And so then she was like, well, fuck, like, I don't know what I'm going to do because like one of them's going to expire and I can't fix it without the other one. So yeah, nightmare basically. Yeah, and it was a whole huge mess. Basically, the process is intentionally difficult, and so a lot of people who have immigrated here did at one point have a visa, but those visas have expired, and the holders either don't have time to renew them or are struggling with the difficult renewal process. So Biden's solution to this was to issue an interim memorandum that told Border Patrol agents to, quote, focus on detaining undocumented immigrants suspected of terrorism or espionage, those who entered the country illegally after November 1st, 2021, and those convicted of an aggravated felony. Which is like, I guess, fine, kind of something, a little bit of something, sort of.
I just feel like, so, I don't know, this joke might be stupid, but it's like, during the election, the whole election, how we were all being like, hey, abolish ICE, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Joe Biden, being that he's a man up there in years, probably misheard us and thought we said demolish ice cream.
And he was
then he was like, I don't mind if I do. and now he fucking slobs the knobs of like 30 ice cream cones a day.
Constantly running down his fucking
he's
gullet.
Like, isn't this what you wanted?
This is what you asked for.
Yeah. That's
not to help out immigrant families that are struggling at all.
Yeah.
So if an undocumented person did not fall under any of these categories, the Border Patrol agent would have to get approval from a senior manager, and the deportation reason would have to be good enough for that senior manager to approve deportation. Which isn't even really that great of a change with immigration because it's still punishing undocumented people who crossed after November 2020. And are we really acting like senior managers of literally Border Patrol aren't going to approve deportations or detainments?
Yeah, it's racist. It's a racist institution.
Yeah, it's 100% just racist.
Started as a bunch of racist people being racist, and that's what it still is.
Yep. And I think you become a senior manager of Border Patrol for a reason, and I don't think that reason is that you like to be nice to immigrants.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't. Not a whole lot of like compassionate Border Patrol agents floating around. Yeah,
can't think that there would be. So of course this did not change much for people getting detained and deported, and the number of people in ICE facilities increased by 56% just a few months into Biden's presidency. And 75% of these folks being held in ICE detentions don't even have a criminal record. And ICE literally considers someone a convicted criminal, even if the crime they've been convicted for is as simple as not having a dog on a leash.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's again, it's the kind of shit like we were saying with, creating a law that's like super vague.
Yep.
It's just like racist people will find any loophole.
Gonna racist.
They're gonna racist. Like anything they can do,
totally
they will do, and it's awful.
Yeah. It's like they're just gonna make so we can only detain and deport like criminals that are immigrants, or immigrants that are criminals. Okay, he littered, criminal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
jaywalking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. So clearly Biden's thin solution to reduce the horrors of ICE detentions has not actually panned out, unsurprisingly.
Really?
Yeah. You don't say. The original memorandum was replaced by another memo to Border Patrol agents that read, quote, "The civil immigration enforcement guidance does not compel an action to be taken or not taken. Instead, the guidance leaves the exercise of prosecutorial discretion to the judgment of our personnel." Which,
again, is awful.
Yeah.
You don't leave...
No.
The judgment
ever
to the personnel that are racist people.
Yes. You don't become Border Patrol agent because you're like, I want to do good stuff or justice or fucking whatever.
And again, even if that's like your intention, it's the same with police officers. You join a racist fucking institution.
Yep.
That shit, you will eventually, and will more often than not, defend people who are doing racist things because they're your coworkers.
Yep.
And the system is racist.
Exactly. So basically what Biden's thoughts were with this memo was to urge Border Patrol agents to consider the impact that deportation would have on the family of the deportee. That's like something that Biden said, which is okay. The person whose job it is to arrest people who immigrated here is really gonna like stop really quick while they're cuffing someone and be like, oh shit, wait, do you have a family? Yeah. Like we're like relying on the Border Patrol agent to have a Grinch moment where his heart grows 3 sizes and he's like, oh damn, maybe my job is evil and bad for families.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's insane.
God, yeah.
He's like, hey guys who your racist job is to fucking grab people at the border and arrest them. Think about if it's going to hurt the family, though.
Yeah, like, think about that.
Just think about it. You don't even really have to do anything. Just think about it,
Just consider it,
Yeah. So, evil. With the number of detainees being higher than the Trump era and other immigration policies falling towards a more conservative stance or simply not being created at all, the Biden admin is on track to be just as bad, if not worse, than the Trump era immigration issues.
Which is lovely.
Yeah.
Very, very happy to hear that.
Yeah. Things are going great.
Which, again, I mean, people have said it. It's like, yeah, like Joe Biden, they're all the same. They're all the same. It's all the same bullshit. It's just
exactly.
Donald Trump was just more outright like a fascist.
Exactly. Yeah. Like he was just loud about it. I mean, we've said it on the podcast before. Like the only difference is Trump had a Twitter. Like that's
exactly.
it.
And like, he would tweet whatever the fuck came to his mind.
Like Joe Biden just posts pictures of him and Kamala walking.
Yeah.
When you walking.
Well, and that and that's interesting because I posted something on Twitter about like Kamala Harris a few months ago because like during the campaign she was like, we want to make a fair society for all and people can come to America and have a new start, blah blah blah. And then it was like a few months later during the presidency and she was like, if you don't have the right documentation, don't come here or something like that. And it's like, and big shock. Presidential candidates don't keep their promises. I get it.
They lie,
but weird. Like, it's so blatant and it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it's just like, what did voting for him then do for us? What has having Biden as president over Trump changed at all?
Yeah.
Name me.
It just
COVID's
makes...
not better. Fucking immigration shit's not better. Police suck still. Like, what?
It just makes the liberal people feel better because he's a nice. He talks nice.
Because he got a new dog.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Which, I don't know. Fucking Joe Biden got a new dog and like posted on the White House Instagram or something. Was like, oh, I'm so excited for my new, like talking from the dog's voice or whatever, was like, I'm so excited for my new home and my dad, Joe Biden. And all of these fucking people were commenting, all of these liberal ass, Democrat ass, fucking ignore it all ass bitches talking to you, if you're listening. We're commenting and like, I'm so glad to have a president that has a dog again. It's like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Get a grip on fucking reality, baby.
Yeah.
Read some news. Fucking read some policies. Who gives a shit if the man has a fucking dog?
Yeah.
I don't care if he owns a puppy rescue, okay?
It's like, you can, like, a lot of terrible people have owned dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, and they probably love their dogs.
Totally.
Like, that doesn't change the fact,
Hannibal
again. Yeah. Doesn't change the fact that they fucking, I don't know, are literally imprisoning migrant people for existing.
Exactly. So. Exactly. Woo, this refresher is getting to me. Come on.
It's always the refreshers, man.
They get me.
They
I'm
get
like,
you.
feel like I'm on speed.
Are you on dust right now?
Oh, man. Woo. Okay. Another very controversial move during Biden's first year of presidency was to remove the American troops from Afghanistan, supposedly ending a 20-year war. We, of course, know that the U.S. invaded Afghanistan following 9/11, and Bush had been given a blank check, ding ding, to do whatever he deemed necessary to end terrorism. The U.S. claimed to be setting up a democratic government in Afghanistan, as well as other surrounding countries. And then at the end of the chaotic Bush era, the invasion of Eastern countries continued, as did the safety measures that had been set up at home, like the Patriot Act and the NSA. The decision to withdraw the troops from Afghanistan was one that had been floating around during the Trump era, with Osama bin Laden dead, no terrorist attacks on the United States from any of these countries, and 9/11 now decades away. Public opinion has swayed toward supporting a removal of the troops. The way this was carried out, however, was chaotic and painful for the Afghan people.
Yeah, because America is a terrible friend to have, internationally, because literally we will go to a place, be like, we're here to help, usually take all their resources and kind of leave them in shambles and then just dip.
Yep.
Happened in fucking Syria with Trump. Like
100%.
We do it all the time.
Yep. To every fucking day. Bless you.
Sorry.
Don't be.
Again.
It's all good. So the U.S. military was withdrawn from Afghanistan with haste, removing nearly all their troops in one single day and causing chaos at the Hamid Karzai International Airport. Apologies if I'm pronouncing these things incorrectly. I tried my best. As the U.S. military planes were taking off, hundreds of Afghan citizens rushed the plane, begging to be taken along with the U.S. military out of fear of the Taliban. And I have a little story. It's a bit of a trigger warning story, so sorry in advance. One man, Mirza Ali Ahmadi, who was in the crowd, was begging for help from the U.S. military, and he feared that his child would get crushed among the chaos, so he attempted to lift the baby over the fence to a service member. This child eventually ended up with an Afghan taxi driver, Hamid Safi, and then was eventually returned to his parents, like months later or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like, it was literally insane. Like, there was Afghan people like grabbing onto the plane, like, for the love of fucking God, you've come in here, you've screwed up everything and left us with no infrastructure, and now you're piecing out hella quick, and of course the Taliban's gonna take over immediately, you psychopaths. So, I mean, literally just hours after the U.S. troops had left Afghanistan, also leaving piles of weaponry in their wake, like literally fucking tanks and shit, the Taliban was patrolling the grounds of the airport triumphantly.
Yep, it's stupid.
Yep.
And I mean, again, I'm not surprised. It's just what happens.
Yep. I'm not an expert on military strategies, but what I do know is that we never should have invaded Afghanistan in the first place, and for sure should not have tried to set up a government, because we can't even do that successfully in our own country. And then this quick withdrawal left Afghanistan wide open and vulnerable to the Taliban, and as we've seen, the Taliban has taken advantage of that opening.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I think Biden's first year as president has been a huge disappointment, as I imagined it would be. Woo! He has not delivered on a good amount of the promises he made. There's been no move on student debt relief, no move towards decriminalizing marijuana, and even his smallest of promises he hasn't been able to deliver on. During his campaign, Biden promised to nominate one singular, tiny, just one, black woman to the Supreme Court. Didn't even promise that she would, like, be a part of it, just that he would nominate her. And guess what? He hasn't done it!
He still hasn't done it.
He can't even think of one black woman to be like, this lady,
person,
put her in the Supreme Court.
Well, we need, people in the yeah.
Like, I would say that's arguably, like, one of the easiest ones you could follow through on.
Easy. It's
like,
so easy.
Fucking dude.
Come on.
Like, everybody knows I do fucking hair, and, like, one cardinal rule is under promise, over deliver. Like, Biden, you missed the fucking mark on that one.
It's true. Yeah, and again, like, if don't say it if you the reason I ask Phoebe before I make a promise to the patrons or our listeners is because I want to make sure we can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, make sure this is
so
something
simple.
You're fucking capable of, or, like, make sure it's something that you, like, actually believe in and are gonna do.
Exactly.
Like, and it's like, I get it. Like, I get how, like, the reason why campaigns are the way that they are, why you say this shit, because you want to get fucking elected, but then it's like, you piece of shit, this is why I elected you. Not me, but, like, people.
Yeah, it's just why you got the majority. It's because you said you were going to do these things, but
that sounded real nice.
But again, it's not.
And, like, no, like, I never should have trusted any of the shit he said, which I didn't. But, like, I feel, I don't know, I guess fucking bad for all of these people that were like, oh my God, finally student debt relief. Like, I can live and eat fucking food and get a career, get a degree and get a job. But old fucking Sleepy Joe over here, old Joe fucking Red Robin ass Biden, I'm losing my mind.
Joe refresher from Starbucks Biden.
Yeah.
Didn't do it. No, and I mean, and that's like a good argument as to why maybe we shouldn't have elected leaders. Because again, the idea of being like, this person is capable of making a decision for everybody.
Literally the entire country.
Is absurd.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it in those terms, you're like, why?
Yeah,
like,
that's insane. And the fact that it's just like they can just blatantly lie during their campaign to win, and then never is held accountable for like all of the things they said they were going to fucking do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's stupid. And again, like, I feel like if you think about it, like, you as a person, the listener, me, myself, Phoebe, like, I don't want to be the president because that's so stressful. You have to make decisions for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Again, I just think about it and I'm like, why is that a job?
Literally, yeah. That's like an insane job. That is crazy. Which is why you have to be a fucking crazy person to run for president.
And
like, all the love in my heart for fucking Bernie, but I mean,
he's an insane man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, and that's like, every president you see looks like shit by the time they're done, because again, you're making a decision for everybody. For millions of people.
5 billion people or fucking something. I don't know.
Pretty much at this point, because you're making world decisions.
That's true.
You know, if you're the American president, like, it's it just shouldn't be like. No, why do we think this is a good system?
It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like,
and like, you can argue like, oh, the Supreme Court. I don't know, baby.
You're like,
still,
it's a bad job. It's not
good.
It's not good.
Not a good idea.
Shouldn't exist.
Nope. Should not.
And yeah.
Classic remarks, fucking tangent.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
We're back.
We're back,
I
baby.
mean, we never left, but
No, maybe for a week.
we missed a week, yeah.
No. God. Also,
Anyway.
quick shout out to my sister. She made me the shirt that I'm wearing today, my podcasting shirt, and it says, "The feminine urge to stage a coup."
I love that.
And I love it so much. Although I've been wearing it in public and I'm like a little worried people are going to think I mean like a Trump kind of coup when I'm like, no, like the leftist kind.
Yeah, no.
Like the good kind of coup.
The better kind.
Yeah. But I love it so much. So thanks. Thanks,
also-
sis. And it's true, I do have a feminine urge to stage a coup.
That is what I've always said about you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the raw femininity that Phoebe emits just, like, makes me want to stage a coup as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Was that all of your
That's
your
it.
notes? All right.
That's it.
Let's hit some plugs, pluggies.
Plug her up. Let's fucking text her plug real quick and
Exactly.
order some fucking
Exactly.
drugs. Just kidding. I don't do drugs. Well, if you want to visit our Instagram and see a picture of Joe Biden slobbering down on some fucking frozen ass cream, you can go to @Remarks Podcast if you would like to watch a couple of TikToks. I think there's 3 total. TikTok's hard, you guys. It's the same name, @Remarks Podcast. And Taylor, if you want to go to our Twitty, where do you go?
If you want to go to the Twitty, you would go to @remarkspod on twitter.com. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please. I have a YouTube channel. It goes by the name of The Lefty Agenda. I am currently working on a video about a book I read. It's a classic. You know it. You love it. It's called The Picture of Dorian Gray.
That's a great book.
Yeah. I read it. It was good. And we can now thank our patrons.
Our patrons.
It's true.
Our patrons.
We got Justin Vass.
Shout out. We
Wanna read the
got
next one?
Emily Doran.
Shout out. Big fan.
True, number 1.
Jameson Cherry.
Our boy. And our newest patron, Andrew Vass.
Woo! What is up?
See you on Saturday.
I won't, but Phoebe will.
Oh, yeah, you'll
I'm going to be out of town.
That's right.
I won't miss the podcast. I'll be back by then.
Yeah, no worries, little babies.
Don't fret.
Your mommy and daddy of your ears will be here to give you some sweet bad news.
Some sweet bad news. Correct. But I am going to West Virginia, Wednesday. So that would be 2 days from now. Mountain Mama. Take me home. Country Road. Anyway, I think that's
the
everything.
podcast.
That's the podcast.
And thanks for listening.
K,
love
you.
you. Bye.